Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, infinite, eternal, blissful consciousnesses. They say there's only one, but please, we have to be mindful of the Advaita Vedanta word police. So I'm going to say it again. Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, infinite, eternal consciousnesses. It is unified. Hi, thanks for dropping by this video. So, in many satsangs, you'll hear things like, just inquire. Or if you ask a question, who is it who wants to know? Or I'm just going to focus my attention on the self and abide as the self. Now, on the surface, this sounds like wisdom. And on the surface, this sounds like what Ramana Maharshi taught. And it really isn't. Ramana only taught that to people at a certain level of development. In fact, he said, self-inquiry is only for those who have, I'll have to paraphrase it, have no interest in finding happiness or pleasure in the world. Only those are the people who are qualified or competent to practice self-inquiry. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much the essence of what he said there. To practice self-inquiry, you have to be ready for it. Now, this is a very important teaching because once you've got the knack of it, anyone can practice self-inquiry and get results, but not lasting results. Here's what James Schwartz has to say. And so I'll just speak to my own experiences. This was very confusing for me because as soon as the moment I practice self-inquiry, I get an instant result, instantly, like I'm doing it right now. I just drop this very deep space, deep stillness, unspeakable peace. It's also joyful. And so I would do that and have these wondrous experiences, but it wasn't lasting. And I didn't understand why, and no teacher could tell me why until I found this dude, James Schwartz. Here's what he had to say. And this is on the topic of karma yoga, which, by the way, Ramana Maharshi taught, but everyone pretty much ignores. So, if you know who you are, you will automatically act with the karma yoga spirit. Traditionally, karma yoga is acting from a place, doing your duty from a place of unattachment to the results, and also from a place of serving God or serving everyone and everything. So that's what karma yoga, the traditional definition of it. If you know who you are, you will automatically act with karma yoga spirit because you'll be clear about what actions and its results can and cannot do for you. Meaning that if you know you're the self, you know that no object can give you happiness. No object can give you what you really want because it's what you are. And so if you have that knowledge, you just naturally act a certain way. So karma yoga is intended for people with spiritual vasanas, meaning thoughts or movements of thought, who know that they are awareness, but do not have full confidence in the knowledge. Just that's me. People who have the experience have the knowing, but the knowledge doesn't stick. It isn't a perpetual, permanent experience. This lack of confidence is due to the veiling. My alarm's going off, one moment. It's time to wake up. So karma yoga is intended for people with spiritual vasanas who know they are awareness but do not have full confidence in the knowledge. Their lack of confidence is due to the veiling and projecting gunas, rajas and tamas. Gunas are qualities of mind, and rajas and tamas are two of the three qualities of mind, which cloud and disturb the mind to such a degree that they cannot enjoy the freedom that hard and fast self-knowledge confers. Without karma yoga, self-knowledge will not stick. You may very well have non-dual epiphanies and feel that you are enlightened, but without karma yoga, the feeling will eventually be compromised, and you will seek once again to regain your enlightenment, such as it was. So, classical Advaita Vedanta starts with the purification of the mind. Ramana Maharshi did this as well in the book he wrote, Upadesha Swadam. But that gets ignored in Neo-Advaita circles. Why? Because I don't know why. I'm guessing because it doesn't sell well. Because people just want to get high and not do the actual work. Karma yoga is the process of going throughout the day, dedicating every action to the whole, and to not seeking the results. An example of this today is I was gonna go for something similar, not quite an interview, but an interview. And to prepare myself, I said, okay, I'm just doing this from an act of service, and however it turns out, the results are up to God. I don't I don't want to receive anything back. It just feels like my duty. It feels like the right thing to do to go and do this interview. However it turns out, that's up to God. So that's being unattached to the results, and that's dedicating the actions. Karma yoga is then training the mind to think in that way, and in thinking that way, it reduces tamas guna and rajas guna, which obscure us from knowing ourselves. So now everything I just said does not apply to someone who is just absolutely ripe for self-inquiry. Why does it not apply? Because they're already living that way. They may have been trained in karma yoga, they may not. They just may have cultivated a sense of detachment and surrender and service to the divine. For such a person, karma yoga isn't really necessary. And it's very helpful even for such a person after a profound awakening, because delusion comes back. Even Ramana Maharshi said so. He said the yana, I can just strike it down. And karma yoga is a protection from delusion. It protects us from, because all sorts of things can creep up. After an awakening experience, someone can think, I'm the savior of the world. I'm going to enlighten the world. Well, okay. If the person then approaches that with the karma yoga spirit of, hey, that's not going to bring me happiness. Like, that just seems like the right thing to do. I'm going to do it. The results are in God's hands. But without karma yoga spirit, the person might be very subtly, there might be this little vasana of like, oh, if I'm famous, that'll make me happy. Or, oh, if I save the world, that'll make me happy. So there's then some grasping and some attachment. So karma yoga is an essential part of this path, before awakening and after awakening. Thank you so much for joining in. Much love.